What's going on, everybody? It's Derek, and I just wanted to make this video, kind of, if you will, checking in with everybody, letting everybody know I'm doing okay. I get a lot of people who reach out to me that are desperate, and they want to know, how did I make it through the beginning? I've made videos and hinted at this, but I wanted to make this, as clear, because it's not easy to say and easy to... I guess to really give you an answer that is going to suffice. So it was the hardest thing I ever had to do to get through the first 7 days. But you are guaranteed, if you make it to 30 days, I'm telling you, it is so much better. The problem is in the brain, okay? The habit develops. So now when you get clean, to solve your problems, the only thing you know is to use, because it made you feel better for a time being, temporary. And so you have to find other solutions other than using. And how do you do that? Well, this is why 12-step programs are so good, because actions, or putting actions in, rewires the way you think. They say you can't think your way into new thinking. You have to act your way into new thinking. Therefore, you practice things you may not be used to or may not like to do at first. And that's stuff like forgiveness and principles of forgiving those who've done you wrong, trying to make amends where you've done people wrong, showing good qualities and doing things that consciously are good. That helps you train your brain into thinking that way. And so this is why I recommend going to meetings. Early on, I went to meetings. You'll see there's a video on my channel where me and Kurt were sitting outside of an AA meeting. That was early on. I was still sucking. I went into that meeting right after we did that video, and at some point during the meeting, I was crying, and I was calling out for help, asking people how to do it, and they gave me wisdom. One man said, religious people are religious because they don't want to go to hell, and spiritual people are spiritual because they've already been there and they don't want to go back. So I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know you have to commit, and it sucks and it's very hard if you're going to do this cold turkey. I have not successfully done it any other route. I'm not saying it can't be done, but this is why people go to rehabs too, because of facility. I was in the real world pretty much the whole time, except for the first 4 days when I was getting clean. I was protected in a house, but I was in the real world from the beginning, so I had to learn how to cope to survive in the real world. When you go to rehab, you get inside of a bubble, a protective place, and it's hard to work in. A lot of people relapse because they're not used to the real world, and they come back out and boom, they're like, oh, they don't know how to problem solve. It's very difficult, so you need to reach out for help. I'm not able to help everybody in the world, but I'll give you as much advice as I did, and it's just advice. It's my suggestion. I'm no professional, but my experience is what makes a lot of people ask me, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I also reach out to my pops from Canada, and he helps me. I get a lot of people who are like, how did you do it? I can only go 3 days, then I tap out. And that's where I can't fill in that gap. All I can tell you is that it sucked. It sucked bad, and I had to do it. So how I did it was I sucked. I jumped in the bathtub. I got out of the bathtub. I got into a show, or tried to, and my legs were crawling for a long time. It felt like the worst of it was over, but there was still waves of it that kept coming. And eventually that got lower and lower, or the pain began to gradually decline till it was completely gone, and I overcame it. Once I was in the clear, I could easily see how someone would relapse and go back to this. But once I was in the clear, it was so much easier to maintain it as long as I kept my mind focused on the right things. And I was in AA and NA, I would say for the better part of most of my first year, I was in and out of the rooms. Then I would say a good portion of it. So when people look at my day 7 video and they go, dude, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. The only reason I spoke was because this isn't my first time trying to get clean. So don't think, oh, Derek's just a miracle case. He got it on the first try and didn't know and didn't have any previous experience trying to quit. I have tried many times throughout years, and I have successfully quit for periods of time. But then I started drinking or something else would come up. So I say that to say, when you go to commit, you have to commit, and you can't do it alone. This is just it's very difficult. So you have to seek help. You have to get a support group to help you. I just don't see it happening by yourself. It's the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. And I'm telling you guys and gals, it's something you need help if you're going to do. All right, y'all. If you like what I'm saying, like it, subscribe, of course, share this with people. But, I've got stuff in the description if you'd like to help out in the journey as well. Thanks a lot, y'all. Until next time.